once again doing the Elvis thing, right? But you know what? I blame black people for that. One of them fucked up. They were at a party, there was white people there, and they let it slip out. Stay woke, however the fuck you say it, and some white person heard it like, who is that? Oh my God. Stay woke? I want to say that. I gotta say that around my white friends. So they heightened emotion. There's some guy like, get a hold of yourself, baby. Yeah, go make me a pie. Put it on the windowsill. Right? That's what he grew up watching. I grew up in the 70s. I thought being a truck driver was a cool thing. You know, you had a monkey for a friend. You're going around, chicks showing their titties. I thought that was the world. I had no idea. That's what I was watching. To catch a predator guy to come walking out, like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? No, sit down. That show, To Catch a Predator, man, that is horrible PR for white people, huh? Jesus Christ. Can they move that show to an urban area every once in a while? Just catch a couple of R. Kelly's peeing on some kids, you know? Just balance it out a little bit. It's like, does every dude walking in that house got to look like me? Like, hey, I'm here to fucking 8-year-old. How are you?
But I had
Jimmy asked the same question, just has a different answer. He gave up the liver.
I gave up the liver. I'm like, they'll be able to figure it out in 20 years, right? I'll be able to. They'll put me up to a machine or something, or Mickey Mantle. I don't know. They'll figure it out.
You gotta shake.
Right, Mickey Mantle's fine.
You gotta shake a lot of hands to get up that liver list. You know?
You got to take it on top of the donor.
You're gonna have to tone down your act, man. If you're gonna need some friends, a couple of senators.
Well, I'm gonna stop making fun of Dr. Oz, and he's gonna get me in. But
seconds, so they just strap you down, and they just go, "Are you ready? Wait. Okay, do it." You just, and then you come out, and then you have to go into therapy.
I'd much
to deal with that level of pain. You shake for like 3 days, but you just have a cough that would make.
I'd rather get it over with, right? I'd rather just have it be horrible instead of not be like everything happened to me, right? So I started losing my train of thought. That happened. My balls started hurting, and
from
Propecia, and I'm happy.
That is a depressing chat group. That is not a bunch of guys sort of celebrating life there.
Yeah. You know what's scary though is as you type in Propecia and you type in my and just the B of balls and it just goes balls hurts. Click. Yeah, see, so that's the thing. Look, I mean, what are you trying to do? You're going to try to be on People magazine?
You know what? I'm married and everything. Who cares, right?
Who cares?
Who cares? You're right. I'm going to let it go.
You know, I've never been in a country where all of a sudden the most powerful army the world has ever seen comes in and takes it over in a couple hours. She must have been terrified, right? And she's a woman. You know, she's into fashion. They show up with those Hugo Boss uniforms. You know, her knees buckle a little bit. Things start getting ugly. People are getting shot in the street. She's freaking out. You know. And she's a woman. And women know push comes to the option of fucking their way out of a situation. They always got that card they can play. Right? All women know this. All women know this. Men don't realize this till they go to prison. But women learn this early on. She had the option, and she took it. I can't get mad at her for that, you know? So she's dead and gone. I think she's up there in heaven. I think, yeah, there you go. So, still buy your Coco Chanel. She's still a hero. She was a victim. She was a victim of that time. She was frightened. She was scared. She didn't know what to do. Anyway. So, we're living in a fucking weird time. Obviously, beyond all the bullshit that's going on now. Like, every time I think feminism, what is it now? I'm just fucking with you. Feminism doesn't bug me. You know? It doesn't bother me. I'm not afraid of it or anything like that. You know, for the simple fact that I know it's going to fail, you know? And I take comfort in that. I do. I'm not rooting for it because I know it doesn't like me. Yeah. Do you know I think us like, more men need to care about this issue. Where are the men? to stand up and say something. Like, why do I have to fucking say something? This is your fucking problem. Why are you always dragging us into this shit? I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts saying no professional female athletes, Serena Williams, the women in the UFC, you know? But nobody's watching your fucking sport. And then you're going to come and you're going to get mad at fucking men. They keep doing that shit. Why are you yelling at us? It's not our fucking job. It's not my fucking job to give a fuck about women's soccer, okay? I have men's sport to pay attention to. It's your bullshit, right? Dude. Yeah. None of you went to the fucking games. None of you. You failed them. Not me. Not men. Women failed the WNBA. Ladies, name your top 5 all-time WNBA players of all time. Come on. Let's hear it. Name 5 fuck about them. They play night in and night out in front of nobody. It's a fucking tragedy. Right? And then meanwhile, you look at the Kardashians, they're making billions. You look at those Real Housewives shows, they're making money hand over fist, because that's what women are watching. And the money listens. You don't want to watch this shit, you watch this shit. They get shit. Real Housewives, bunch of women just tearing each other down. Well, maybe that's why your husband left you. Maybe that's why your husband left. That's why you can't have kids, bitch. That's why your ass is as flat as your titties, bitch, right? That's the message you sent. We would rather watch that than see a bunch of women come together as a team and try to achieve a common goal. We would rather watch them absolutely fucking destroy each other. Yeah. No. And then in the end, then you fucking yell at guys. And it's like, all right, so let me get this straight. I have to buy you a drink, stop the axe murderer from coming through the fucking window, and I have to watch WNBA games for you? Like, when are you going to pick up your end of the couch? Yeah. I don't have any sympathy for women when it comes to shit like that, because every study they've ever done to determine who's going to end well. Did he say I'm pretty? Oh my God. Get out of the relationship. If every study says that you're smarter, okay, the question you should be asking yourself was, we're so goddamn smart, how are we in the situation we're in? Well? Team, up top, yeah! You want to get some more mozzarella sticks? Yeah. As a woman with your bigger brain, you never looked in there and thought to yourself, I'm fucking losing to that? I'm losing to that. Yeah, there's nothing stopping you other than the fact that you guys are just into destroying each other. No, now it's going to get quiet. I see all that sneaky shit you do. Ladies, if you could just support the WNBA the way you support a fat chick that's proud of her body and is no longer a threat to you, you know, that league would be doing better numbers than the NBA. Oh, my God. That's one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Oh, my God, you're a goddess. You're gorgeous. You look great in that bikini. I would kill myself if I looked like that. Oh, my God. That's one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Oh, my God, you're a goddess. You're gorgeous. You look great in that bikini. I would kill myself if I looked like that. Keep eating. Keep eating. Lose a toe, you fat bitch. It's just... You saw an alcoholic where you'd be like, oh, my God, look at you. You're face down, passed out. Your kids are crying. You're a hero. You're a god. Keep doing what you're doing. Alcoholic where you'd be like, oh, my God, look at you. You're face down, passed out. Your kids are You're a hero. You're a god. Keep doing what you're doing. You'd be like, dude, you need to get your fucking shit together. Get off the sauce.
I wasn't trying to spell dinosaur.
I'm serious. Women have like too much energy for me. That's what I've noticed, you know? Like you can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. They just like see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's go fill it out for some stuff.
Really like religious. She goes to church every week and I never go and it freaks her out. She's like, why don't you go to church? You don't believe in God and heaven and hell and all that stuff? Why don't you go? And I talk to him. Hey, how's it been going? Oh, you know, been rough last couple of nights downstairs on the couch. You know how that is, right? No, I don't. I don't understand. Yeah, how did you get yourself into that situation? I shouldn't make fun of Ebola. I don't know anything about it. Other than if you get it, you have this unbelievable urge to go to the airport. Right? Yeah, I don't know what it is. Nobody gets Ebola, just has the decency to just walk out in the woods by themselves and just bleed out like a gentleman, right? I think about the population all the time. I think I got the plan. I would just start randomly sinking cruise ships. Think about the kinds of people that take a cruise. These aren't forward thinkers. It's nice to be out here in Denver, man. It's legal on a state level, but not on a federal level, man. Buddy out here dressing like they're fucking going hiking. Your North Face pajamas and all the shit you guys have. You guys all live inside. Shit, I'm gonna have my balls out, walking down the street, because that's what Jesus said in John 13, all right? In my Bible study class, I don't give a fuck. And if I get it, I'm going to the hospital and be like, all right, fix me. You were right. Everybody, all hypocritical, all the liberals, you gotta wear the mask, and half of them when they talk, they're pulling it down. They have it under their fucking nose. That took their dick out at work. Despite the stats, right? Every 1.6 seconds, somebody takes their dick out and shakes it in a woman's face in a cubicle. You're like, huh? Every 1.6 seconds? I must not have been paying attention. Every 3.2 seconds, some man jizzes on a bird and rubs it in a woman's face. Holy shit! I didn't know that happened. Yeah, so fortunately... Maniac, how you doing? You're going back to the States. L-shaped couch, flat screen TV, get in the car. The rest you keep going. But you, coming home with me. Yeah. So that was like a thing for like half a second. Sean Connery died. The great Sean Connery. Yeah, my favorite James Bond of all time. Yeah, and he was getting a proper send-off for about 8 minutes on Twitter. And then the first hairy-legged white chick show.
Fame, high schools, where everybody's doing it. One of those creative schools. Go to the cafeteria, everybody's like, cottage cheese, what is it made of? Right?
Like, then he can do all he wants. But there's no way I'm letting him do that at a public school with those goddamn animals. He's going to get the shit kicked out of him. He's going to come home with his underwear up his ass, and then I have to be the adult and go down to the principal and be like, oh, there's some sort of tomfoolery going on around here. I don't want to do that. I want to find the fucking 8-year-old. What is he, this tall? I want to find the kid that did it to my kid, tip him upside, be like, oh, there's some sort of tomfoolery going on around here. I don't want to do that. I want to find the fucking 8-year-old. What is he, this tall? I want to find the kid that did it to my kid, tip him upside down into some sand or a puddle, anywhere where oxygen is going to be an issue, right? And just leave him there, right? You wait till that one leg just starts shaking so you know he's down to his last breath. And then you turn him upside down, you upside right, you grab him by his throat, you just say something horrific. You ever do that again, I'm going to beat your mother to death with the family dog. No, one of my fantasies is I want to drive. Like, Dad, what's Dad? We want to go play, Dad? Let's go ride bikes, Dad! Dad! Yeah, when I was a kid, I was like, Dad, fuck, run, open a window. Mom, what did you see in that? Fucking lunatic, right? And not just my house. I love my parents, but it was just the time. Like everybody was fucking crazy. You were afraid, and people could put their hands on you, and other people's dads could hit you, and then you come home, oh, what the fuck did you do? Grew up on the same fucking streets. All your jokes got to go right down fucking Main Street, or you're bombing. So all you do is listen to the first comic to hear what's working and what isn't. You just listen to him as he's up there struggling, going, okay, they like bread. Talk about bread. Get all the bread you can. Don't make fun of the troops. Stay away from the troops, right? So that's what we're doing, right? And the host gets him going, and then he brings up the first act. Okay, she goes on stage. She's not really a comedian, more of a personality. She does her bullshit or whatever, and I'm standing there looking at my jokes, figuring out what I'm doing. She raps like, oh, is this a friend of yours? Was she flirting with you? Was this a joke? None of the above. You know what it was? I swear to God, it was like a bully vibe. Like she was trying to get in my head. Like, there you go, you little red dick. Poof, follow that. And she just kept walking. Dude, my first thought as I saw her walking away, I just wanted to punch her in the back of the head as hard as humanly possible. Like literally make her leave her shoes. You know? But the other side of my brain's like, oh no, dude, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's a woman. And it's just spitball. Well, fucking boot her in the ass. That to me, I would have taken my balls out too. Be like, hey, fucking flick both of these fucking sports bras. So now I'm standing there. I'm waiting to go on stage. The dude's doing my intro. I'm trying to think about jokes about bread, and the tip of my dick is still stinging. This is the world I'm in. And right as he's going to bring me on, all of a sudden she came walking out because she was going to go back out to her fucking car. And that's when my brain started firing up again with some ideas. Started thinking shit that I had never thought before in my life. Going like, dude, there she is. There she is. There she is. Flick her in the box. Do it, man. Equal rights. She did it to you. You do it back to her. It started making sense. Like, yeah, fuck that. You flick my dick. I'm going to flick your clit. That's right. I'll fucking hit the man in the boat. I'm drop down, uppercut to the bush. Fuck this shit. Think I'm the kind of person who just can flick my dick and walk away like it ain't shit, right? And it was making sense till right when she got there. Finally, I just started thinking of all the sporting events I had watched. And I realized that the referee only sees the retaliation. He never sees the first aggression. No. When I first came to the city, like, all black people scared me. No, I was like the typical white dude from, like, the suburbs, you know what I mean? I had no frame of reference, you know? So my only frame of reference with black people was, like, remember those early 90s gangster rap videos? Throw the fucking LA riots in there, man. It was fucking horrible PR. I'm watching the videos. Look, he's got a nice car. He's got all the women, and he's still fucking mad. These black dudes are never happy. But after 10 years of... When I see the street, I want to go up. I want to go up St. Nick. I can literally see her apartment building. But there's like 5 or 6 black dudes standing right on the corner, right where I want to walk by. So I'm like, fuck! I thought I was on like some reality show at that point, like some sort of like white guy survivor. It was ridiculous. So I'm thinking, I got to walk right by these guys, right? You know what's funny? I think that they were actually more surprised to see me than I was scared, you know? And
Hope you found that educational. Now to bring on a man I'm thrilled to have here. As I mentioned, this comic is simply one of the best in the world. We're thrilled to welcome Bill Burr. How are you? This one over here. What's on, man? How are you? I know, it's confusing. Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right. Dressed up more. I know. You got the pocket square too. You're killing me.
Wait, I don't even own this suit.
Well, looks like you do. Looks tailor-made. Little snazzy socks going. What's on, man? How are you?
I know, it's confusing. Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right. Dressed up more. I know. You got the pocket square too. You're killing me.
Wait, I don't even own this suit.
Well, looks like you do. Looks tailor-made. Little snazzy socks going on.
Thank you. Oh, my legs. It is great to have you here. I'm a big fan myself, and you've been doing comedy a long time.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I meant that in a good way. How do you think Breaking Bad's going to end?
You know, hey, the snazzy socks going on.
Thank you. Oh, my legs. It is great to have you here. I'm a big fan myself, and you've been doing comedy a long time.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I meant that in a good way. How do you think Breaking Bad's going to end?
You know what? I have no idea, because whenever I do the show, like, all they do is they just give me my little scene. Right. So I'm as big a fan as anybody. So it was such a thrill when I finally, I kept bugging my agent, trying to get on, and I finally tidbits of information, but I have no idea.
Right, but you're a smart guy. So,
oh, he's pandering now, isn't he?
I know, you like that? But
yeah.
You're brilliant. You're a genius. Is there any clues while you're on set? Does Aaron Paul go home early any days? That's what I'm asking. You know, when they shoot the last episode? You know? Did you hear a director go, all right, we're stabbing Skylar now? Like, did you?
No, they keep it really, really under wraps. I know what you know. That's
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even want, I wouldn't want to know either.
That's
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even I wouldn't want to know either.
Yeah.
People are saying you're the next Louis C.K. Not in a stylized sense, but in like
I'm a balding redhead.
Yeah.
Other than that.
Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Bill Burr.
Yeah, you got to watch out for us balding redheads. We're coming on. I think that's pretty much where the comparison ends, as far as I'm concerned, because I am a huge fan of Louis, and I wouldn't so in front of me. He's also doing like one of the greatest shows on TV, writing, directing, acting in it, and all that. So
yeah,
he's put me to shame. That's what I'm saying.
You're on one of the greatest shows on TV right now.
I do stand up in strip malls. That's what I do. That's what I do. And occasionally I get some acting work, which is cool.
A lot of people know about that famous, that when you took it out on Philly, because they were a bad crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Your famous rant,
Yep.
which you've since said you like Philadelphia, and that wasn't the issue. You were just giving
People the first guy off stage, and I went on like 3 hours after that. So by the time I got up there, it was a complete shit show. And I don't know. They started booing, and I snapped and decided I wasn't going to leave, and I just attacked everything that they loved.
Yeah. And well.
Yeah. And you know what? They're so twisted. They actually they enjoyed it, and then when I came back to Philly, they do it so much they don't even remember. They were like, "Oh, they're so twisted." They actually they enjoyed it, and then when I came back to Philly, they do it so much they don't even remember. They were like, "Oh, yeah." You know, I mean, I've seen him boo. I saw him boo. What was that? Destiny's Child. I saw him boo.
For what?
Because it was a bad management move. They sang at the NBA Finals. The 76ers were playing the Lakers. So I still remember it. They all came out, and they were like, yeah, I've been there. No, I was mad that they cut to commercial, because I wanted to see if she did what I did. Like, you know what?
You are sort of crazy. You're the only small gun advocate I know. You're like everyone's like, knowing you shouldn't have guns. Some people are like, everybody needs a gun. You're like, get a small gun.
Yeah.
Only if the apocalypse happens.
No, you get like a 22. It's perfect.
Yeah. Which I think you feel like the day the power goes out, you're gonna have to shoot all your neighbors.
Game, and you like burn down your city like a riot. It seems so trivial, but that's like, yeah, they always, what is that thing where they say a riot is an expression of, I'm too stupid to remember how it goes. I know this. I know you're not nearly as happy as Michael Moore tried to make you out in that movie. Like,
no.
Everybody's up here, you know, just having a good time and leaving their doors unlocked. Nobody ever gets smashed over the head with a bottle. It was such...
Oh, no.
It just drove me nuts. You guys play enough hockey up here, you get that violent...
Oh,
Time out. The NHL is you guys too. So all the owners had to agree with that. And you all had to be like, we gotta like expand this thing.
We thought we'd funnel money into Canada and keep it here, but you guys took it over, like you tend to do. But
I'm not going to apologize for that.
No, you're big on the, yeah.
I mean, that's just business, dude. You're acting like we came and knocked you on the head. You know what we're about.
Wait a minute.
Oh, yeah. Wait a second. Fellow white person, not native to...
Dude. What are you doing? Huel. Hey, quit screwing around. We are here to do a job, not channel Scrooge McDuck. You hearing me?
I hear you.
Dude. Screw it.
They were trying to do, when we were laying on the money, they said that they wanted to kind of be almost doing like a homage to like pillow talk after sex, except but it was more like your love of money. And so just the two of us laying there.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, because did they let you go?
I didn't get Scrooge McDuck. I didn't get it.
That sounds like a you reference.
No, that was theirs.
You?
And I was sitting there going, Scrooge McDuck, I don't get that. And then, so I just delivered it like I understood it. And then,
that sounds like a you reference.
No, that was theirs.
You?
And I was sitting there going, Scrooge McDuck, I don't get that. And then, so I just delivered it like I understood it. And then I did that a lot on that show. Like when I had to talk about like chemicals like benzene, nitrobenzene. I just would stress it like nitrobenzene, like I had any idea what it was. But it worked because I was playing a guy conning people, so it was kind of funny that in real life and in the character, I had no idea what I was talking about. But anyways, the Scrooge. Did you come up with that? LOL, that was hilarious. I was like, ugh, I must.
It sounds like you. It sounds like you
fooled him again. I was too afraid to say it on set too that I don't get it because I was like, they're not going to bring me back. They think I'm stupid. Okay, yeah, Scrooge McDuck. That's a good line. Okay.
So they want you to sound off on some people quickly. What's your opinion on Miley Cyrus?
I don't really know who she is.
That's good enough for me.
No, I don't mean that in a mean way. I think, but I obviously saw a point that someone's banged her, and I think that really kind of messed with people. Like, she knew how to move. She's a woman now, and you know what? You guys need to get over it, all right? It's her body. I don't know. Like, back in the day, if you thought somebody sucked, you know, you just told your friends. You weren't able to, like, contact them and try to weird them out while they're eating toast, you know?
Yeah.
You know? So... No, that was like right when I thought I had built up a tough enough. Then the first time it happens to you, you're just not ready. You get like 25 great things, and then that one awful one, and you're just like, ugh, because there's always a little bit of truth in it.
Yeah.
With your big stupid head. You know how many times you say you know, and you're like, I know, I keep saying you know, I suck. And it just starts messing with you. But then you start thinking about that person, like, well, I bet they do something, you know? They probably do something bad. Maybe they suck at driving or something. They have things to work on.
When you see someone who hates you ever go to their Twitter feed?
One guy, he said, when are you coming to Dallas, you fucking ginger? And then I clicked on his picture, and he was overweight. So I just wrote back, I was there in April, you tub of shit. And he didn't write me back, and I felt good. I felt good knowing that I hurt him. Like, I'm really anti that whole somebody gets offended by a joke and then you go and apologize. Because the second you apologize, then you make that person right, like you meant it maliciously. If you're being malicious, apologize up for homophobia.
Right.
You know, the Asian group doesn't come at you when you're whatever, making fun of fatties, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I'm sitting here, they have like Kick a Ginger Day. People are telling us we're dying out. I mean, who's sticking up for me? So, you know, go f*** yourselves.
All right, fantasy hockey draft. Who do I pick first?
I don't play fantasy. I'll if you want to play pickup hockey, I'll do that. But I don't ever want to be that guy. If you want to play pickup hockey, I'll do that. But I don't ever want to be that guy in the bar where the other team scores, and everybody's like, and you're like, oh, but he's on my fantasy team. I have this team. In my biggest fantasies, this would be the team. It's just the worst thing. I like to know in the stats, because I used to collect football cards and stuff like that when I was a kid, and I knew where they went to school, and you know, I like that aspect of it. But I play with a lot of guys that are better than me, so it's been a good thing. I can skate pretty good, but I equate my stick handling to like texting while driving. It's a lot of this, so it gets puck gets taken away from me real quick.
Thank you so much for being here, and check out Bill Burr, BillBurr.com, and listen to his podcast. Bill Burr, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Comedy at JFL 42. The festival is moving along so fast, and one of the best of the new generations of comedians, John Mulaney, is in town. He'll be joining us on Thursday's show. Yeah. Yes. Tomorrow, our guests are opinionated actress, comedian Janine Garofalo, the hilarious Andy Kindler, and Match Game panelist and Juice Pig, or was he Corky?
You know, I do have a dog. That doesn't count for anything. I've never understood that. You know? I love my dog, but I've learned a lot about being a dog owner, man. You know? Any dog's a good dog unless you're a psycho. You know? I got a pit bull. It's still a great dog unless you're a fucking psycho. And evidently, I'm a psycho because my dog has just been a complete maniac over the last, 6 months, you know? I didn't realize that dogs feed off your vibes, you know? Like, if you're chilling, they're chilling, you know? I'm so selfishly in my own world. I'd be, on the computer and would crash and go, oh, really? Really? Dog's over in the corner with, a chew toy. I never noticed, that Game 7 look she was getting on her face. And one day, I amped her up too much, had no clue, and I went outside. We were just walking down the street, and some poor bastard comes the other way, and the dog's like, that's that motherfucker. Yeah! Lunge at this guy. I had to pull her back. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. She's never done anything like that, right? Looking down at the dog, like, what's wrong with you? Yeah. So I'm like, I gotta take this thing to a trainer, man. So I load it up in the Prius, and I drive over there, right? Yeah, I have a Prius. Go ahead, judge me. I love that shit. You have a Prius, people, you know, you can't win. You got a truck with a big lift kit, people, oh, it's probably because he has a little dick. Right? How come it's not because he has a dick down to the floor? Maybe that's why he needs all that clearance, right? You know? If that means you have a little dick, then if I have a Prius, doesn't have a little slack in it, and this dog just lunged right at the dude's balls, right? And just barely missed him, and just got a big mouthful of his big cargo shorts, right? And immediately he just grabs it and goes, all right, get out of here, right? But instinctually, I tried to help out, and he just goes, get the fuck out of here! Yeah, I didn't realize that the only reason why the dog was acting like that was because I was there, and it felt like it needed to protect me. So the second I left, the situation immediately just became awkward, right? The dog was just sitting there like, okay, like, I thought we were, like, together, and it's like, all right, easy. You play any games with her? I go, yeah, at the end of the hike. I let her, you know, for reward for going on the hike, I let her run up the stairs by herself. I go, go on, Cleo. I let her run up the stairs, and I count 5 1,000, and then I run up there, and then we start wrestling. Put her in a headlock, sweep her front legs, right? But her tail's wagging, you know? She's not growling. I go, that's a good thing, right? He's like, no, it's fucking horrible. I'm like, why? He goes, you just taught your dog to claim the house and then fight for it every fucking day after the hike. Yeah. You know what's hilarious about sexual assault? You know what's hilarious about it? Is how women are acting like that is a uniquely female experience. You know what's funny? I actually, to the letter of the fucking law, within the last 2.5 years, got sexually assaulted in this business by a woman. Yeah. And this is my story! The fucking law, within the last 2.5 years, got sexually assaulted in this business by a woman. Yeah. And this is my story! I feel like I can live my truth and be brave tonight and share this with you. It's 100% true fucking story. I was doing stand-up. I was doing a private gig. All right? Private gigs are the fucking worst. You do a public gig, anybody can show up. It broadens what fucking Main Street or you're bombing. So all you do is listen to the first comic to hear what's working and what isn't. You just listen to him as he's up there struggling, going, okay, they like bread. Talk about bread. Get all the bread you can. Don't make fun of the troops. Stay away from the troops, right? So that's what we're doing, right? And the host gets him going, and then he brings up the first act. Okay, she goes on stage. She's not really a comedian, more of a personality. She does her bullshit or whatever, and I'm standing there looking at my jokes, figuring out what I'm doing. She wraps it up. He goes on stage. She goes to get off. I'm thinking, okay, I'm next. I'm looking at my stuff, and I just wanted to punch her in the back of the head as hard as humanly possible. Like, literally make her leave her shoes, you know? But the other side of my brain's like, oh, no, dude, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's a woman. And it's just spitball. Well, fucking put her in the ass then. Put her in the ass. Can't hit her, dude. Can't hit her. It's a woman. Well, fucking tell somebody. Tell somebody. And all I'm thinking is like, dude, I'm a guy. You can't fucking tell anybody. Nobody gives a shit what happens to a guy. I'm gonna walk up to another man and be like, excuse me, sir, but she just flicked me in my pee-pee and I didn't like that. And equal right, she did it to you, you do it back to her. It started making sense. Like, yeah, fuck that. Flick my dick. I'm gonna flick your clit. That's right. I'll fucking hit the man in the boat. I'm drop down, uppercut to the bush. Fuck this shit. Think I'm the kind of person who just can flick my dick and walk away like it ain't shit, right? And it was making sense till right when she got there. Finally, I just started thinking of all the sporting events I had watched. And I realized that the referee only sees the retaliation. He never sees the first aggression. And then you have to go to the yellow card, whatever the fuck you people do over here, right? You go to the penalty box. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck about that, all right? You know, when I was a kid, I had a paper route and I was an altar boy, you know? Yeah. You're gonna have to do a little bit better than flick my dick over my jeans and my underwear. It's like, are we gonna do this or what? Like, what is happening here? It's the fact that she thought she could bully me. So after like fucking 3 days of this shit, I had a splitting headache, and I started realizing, like, wait a minute, she's winning this thing. You know, here I am, still thinking about this, just standing there crying like, but Daddy, I love you. He's like, get away from me. I never wanted children. And then he walked through a screen door and he like face planted into this above ground pool. And he had a tool belt on. And it just sort of pulled him under. And she ran out, she grabbed his foot, and she was pulling, and his boot came off, and she sat down, and she just watched him slowly drown. I don't know what happened after that. I just felt like this weight lift off of my chest. Fucking temper, and it just ruined shit. And then my wife always says the same thing. She's always just like, I just don't understand. Where did that come from? Where is that coming from? It's you just go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. It's like, first of all, I idle at 75 miles an hour. All right? So don't give me this 0 to 100. I walked into this restaurant at 75. I could hear that guy talking too loud on his cell phone from the fucking parking lot. Yeah, I fucking tried. Swear to God, he made us hold him up. My mother's taking pictures in front of the Christmas tree. I'm just standing there like, Afterwards, I ran upstairs to my top bunk. And my dad knew he fucked up, to his credit. He came up, he tried to smooth it over. He's like, all right, come on back down. It's over. Come on down, enjoy the holiday. And I'm like, God, I don't want to eat this. I fucking hate you. Right? He eventually coaxed me down, you know. He softened up a little bit. Look, you don't get your fucking ass back downstairs. No one else.
It's all my ink. I have this mic on, so.
Yeah, that's all right.
Be a gentleman and help me out with my question.
Hey, Tony, can you believe that marriage didn't work out? Yeah, I can't believe your relationships don't work out.
You want me to be a soft, you know, one of those Twitter tough guys? When guys come and sit on the couch, I go right after them. Don't you respect me for that?
No, I don't.
That's what I'm saying.
If we went to a movie together, would we sit next to each other? Would you want a seat between us?
You know, oh, Jesus.
Because that's a tough
I'd
deal.
want to sit like 9 rows behind you and just tug on your ponytail.
You savage.
That's what I would do.
I'm blind to...
Here, let me help out before you yell at me there you go. The love. There's the love.
Isn't your idol Richard Pryor? Everybody? Nobody brings. I felt good.
Make sure you're speaking to the mic. Make sure you're speaking to the mic. There you go.
You're whatever incognito. You're an enigma.
What, because I make a pie? No, you know what it is? You're not a good listener. You've known me for 10 years. You have no idea who I am. It's all about comedy with you and moving up the ladder and pushing people out.
A lot of people think that they're uncomfortable with my elevation. Are you uncomfortable with it?
No, I just see all of your insecurities.
You giant desk. Ah, look at you.
How are you?
Oh, it's
I
good.
love that you did the audience applause for everybody. Yeah, there he is. Come on. Keep it going for him.
While people are talking about eating fake.
That was before.
I don't want to be responsible for that shit. I didn't. But the kid was in the fucking building.
Before. Will you shut up?
Jesus fucking Christ. I got to tell you, the Laker fans are even worse. I can't stand them. At least Yankee fans show up at the start of the game. They're running over here.
No, the mushrooms are fucking killing me, man.
I knew it wasn't just weed. I was just like, there's no way I'm taking a hit off of that. There's something going on here.
Mushrooms, baby. The shrooms. I'm shrooming.
You know how fucked up this is? He's shrooming, and he's wearing pants like he went riding a horse today. Like side saddle or some shit.
I'm just going to tell you how I discovered you.
I do owe my whole career to you. Yeah. And he's wearing pants like he went riding a horse today. Like side saddle or some shit.
I'm just going to tell you how I discovered you.
I do owe my whole career to you. Yeah. I was struggling until Bobby Lee discovered me.
Oh, no. Not discover you in terms of like, you did it on your own, obviously, but no, in terms of my awareness of you.
Oh.
Can I tell you that story?
Oh, no, I remember it was a big day in my career. Bobby Lee is finally aware of me. Bobby Lee discovered me.
Oh, no. Not discover you in terms of like, you did it on your own, obviously, but no, in terms of my awareness of you.
Oh.
Can I tell you that story?
Oh, no, I remember it was a big day in my career. Bobby Lee is finally aware of me. Am I on Bobby Lee's radar?
See, this is what he's going to...
This is when things start to happen.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. Am I on Bobby Lee's radar?
See, this is what he's going to...
This is when things start to happen.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. I can hear it.
Really? Is that you in action, or is this another photo shoot?
Yeah, it's a photo shoot. People do photo shoots.
Yeah, I know.
Have you ever seen like a movie poster and you'll see a movie star
I have.
who's clearly I'm not trying to shit on his website. What is it called again? Zippitydoodah.com?
We've never taken a break in the middle of a guest.
I know, I had all this momentum going. Now I got to start all over again. Go ahead. Go to the card. See this? We won game 1. Here comes the second of the doubleheader.
Because the older guys, Robert Kelly's and all that, they all call you Billy. Colin calls you Billy, but I fucking Bill.
I'm
you know
just
what I mean?
Yeah, it's more of a necklace.
When the chain's out,
he has on a fat chick ankle bracelet around his fucking neck.
I love that you have the jib camera for this, like it's an action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm gonna fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs.
Tip now to wear this. This is my nightclub look.
How about I give you $5 and I want to watch you line dance in your I'm a racist cowboy.
So your Christian background is part of the show. Or at
Yes,
least
and
2
I wanted
episodes.
to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far. You know.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord.
So did you feel you were
probably
being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with?
Probably
being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know what I mean, we did maybe 2 jokes about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
they just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
And he's wearing Stetson cologne or something. It's just really overpowering.
How you doing?
You know what he looks like? He looks like the first guy who gets his ass kicked in a Steven Seagal movie. No, the background guy behind the big kingpin. Why don't you handle this? Like you lost a fight 3 days ago, you're just getting back on your feet. Makes no sense. I understand liposuction. They mess that up, you can put a shirt on. There's no shirt for your face. Dude, if you're thinking about getting a facelift, do yourself a favor. Just wait it out. Let them practice on other people's faces. When they work it out, then you go in. It's like hair plugs. Hair plugs don't look half bad now. Oh my God, did you see what John Wayne said in Playboy in 1971? There's a bunch of fucking white people all up in arms about a dead white guy. I can no longer tolerate this. I can no longer tolerate dead for 45 years, John Wayne, saying things in a magazine that doesn't exist anymore. I am here for in 1907. That's what the fuck he's going to sound like. Then you got all these douchebags going like, that's not an excuse. It's like, yes it is. It absolutely is. You are of your time. Look at these young kids. Remember that for like a year and a half? They take a water bottle. They're all standing around, and one kid would flip it, and if it landed upright, they'd lose. Oh, shit. They just lose their fucking minds. Oh. I didn't understand it. That's all he said, okay? Yes, it's a crazy statement in 2021. 1976, you know, it's not good, but it's not crazy. Right? And he's born in 1930. You got to put the shit in historical perspective. You ever watch? I love old movies. You ever watch movies from the 30s, 40s, and 50s? Yeah. Anytime a woman even has heightened emotion, there's some guy like, I gotta hold you. You know, what about all the horrible women in history? You can't just go after the men. That would be sexist. And this is what they don't want.
You know? I mean, what about Coco Chanel? Great example. Coco Chanel, widely considered a feminist icon. She started her own purse factory, right? The 19-teens or 20s, whatever the hell she did. I can't imagine the sexism that she had to deal with, you know?
Because she's basically like a $100 million whale just sitting there. No, that's not a fat joke. That's a gambling thing. All right? Get
Not
your
a fat
mind-
joke.
yeah,
That's a
not
gambling
fat
joke.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, she'll make you $100 million. And she's just sitting there on the beach, right? And they got to figure out what is the acceptable amount of time.
Yes.
After somebody drops the N-word or admits to it that you can bring them back on TV to make cookies.
Yeah.
Back on TV to make cookies.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So you're saying she's going to be back
You're saying
on.
she's coming back.
She's making... Dude, Dog the Bounty Hunter. I looked it up. 3 months.
3 months.
He got a 3-month suspension. And within 3 months, he was back on TV. And some of the guys he was chasing were African American. And nobody had a problem with it. It's a really weird situation.
So what you're saying is they catch someone in one of these
cookies.
situations, they say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Everybody says we want nothing more to do with you, and then the clock is running.
No, first what happens is people get on. They can't even get it out. What kind of person? I mean, this is just... Right? They do that for like 3 days. And then you have to try and be, I don't know what I was doing. Try to make some cockamamie story up that you're not a psycho. And then you just sit there and you wait for the phone to ring because you know you can make people money. That's all it's about. Like, they should just have a channel for people who screw up, like the help is homophobia.
Right.
Now you put him out on the street, right? He's out there drinking booze, you know? He's probably saying even more homophobic stuff and everybody's coming by. You know? Just put him on a channel, like the Disgrace channel or something, right? You know? You could have like... And it's like you're in like the penalty box. And you just stay there.
And I poured some batter in a pan, and I put it in the oven, and then 5 minutes later, you came by and you grabbed the pan, you threw it across the floor, and I went, what the fuck, you just ruined my birthday cake? And then you were like, well, that wasn't a cake yet. Well, it would have been if you didn't do what you just did. There would have been a cake in 50 minutes. Something happened to that cake, you cake murdering son of a bitch. Right?
No, I think I know. I think I know how to raise a kid. You know what it is? You just play catch with them. That's how you raise a kid. You play catch with them. You just talk about life. You distract them by throwing the ball. You know, unless you're like a sociopath and you don't feel shit. Unless you got somebody duct taped upside down in your apartment, you know. And if you do something like that, I want you to feel like you can come to me. You know? Yeah, come to me, confess all of that. We'll go down to the precinct. We'll tell them everything. Yeah, I'm going to turn you in. This isn't fucking Dexter. What are you mind?
Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually lose again? And then you figure it out. It makes you feel stupid. And then you see some bald idiot with a giant orange mustache. And you're like, you know what? A couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand. How come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? Right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was.
It's just like, what are you doing? Trying to watch a game here. You know, no, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy. He died of cancer. It was horrific. I could have lifted him up off the sheet with 2 fingers. It was horrible. Hey, enjoy. Oh, by the way, I got molested when I was 9. Enjoy.
So your Christian background, disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know what I mean, we did maybe 2 jokes about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
they just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background. They'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following, but I don't think
You
I
know
want
what
to.
I'm talking about. It's a morning show. I understand.
I like it. Thank you for
I
being
came on.
positive.
That kid
Positive.
missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel-good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, you know.
And
we were
watch-
joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different story.
What do you think?
He's still missing. We can't find him. All we found was his hat. But you watch.
Or you don't. And it's like, no. What I kind of learned is fucking everything is sort of a spectrum, right? Not just autism, you know? I'm sick of words getting hijacked, all right? When I was a kid, like the spectrum was the color spectrum. Dr. J and the 76ers played in an arena called the Spectrum, right? So the first time somebody said to me, hey, my kid's on the spectrum, I'm thinking, no, he isn't. They tore that shit down in 2010. Even a case, a 12-pack, and jean shorts and a half shirt, right? And then this over here, this is like a teetotaler. Like, you know, I tried alcohol, I didn't like it. It just, you know, I've always been into books, you know? That's been my drugs, you know? I like a good book, right? And I'll tell you, when you see me reading that book, I am in that book, and I ain't taking that journey, right? But there's all fucking this. Like, my drinking got, like, all the way, I realized I could, but there's all fucking this. Like, my drinking got, like, all the way, I realized I couldn't have it in the house. That's what it was. I just, like, consumed it, and then I got all the way to, like, right here, right? I mean, I wasn't sucking dick, but the donut shop was over the horizon. The donut shop was in view, and I was like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? I couldn't fucking stop. But then, so then I thought I was an alcoholic, so I went to, like, an AA meeting, you know, and the people were telling their stories. And after a couple people sharing, I was just going like, all right, I drink, but these people, Jesus Christ. I mean, they were animals. Yellow fingers, still smoking, chowing down pastries. And they're like, Bill, would you like to go up and share some of your stories? I was like, I can't fucking follow that. I had 3 tall bourbons and fell asleep to the Rockford Files. I don't think that's going to follow this guy, you know? I had 3 tall bourbons and fell asleep to the Rockford Files. I don't think that's going to follow this guy, you know? Missing teeth and selling his ass in the street. I can't follow that, right? But there was something going on, so I just realized, you know, like, I can't have this shit in the house. It's in the house. I'm going to fucking consume it. Alcohol, even cookies. I tell my wife, get the cookies out of the fucking house, especially Oreos. I'm going to eat a whole fucking sleeve. And she says, well, why can't you just eat? Well, eat the whole fucking sleeve, and then I won't even brush my teeth. So I'll have that sugar morphine drip, like, coming down the back of my throat, and I'll have these crazy fucking Keebler Elf dreams or whatever. Get it out of the fucking house. That's what I need to do. Right? That's what I learned. Like, I have no desire to do heroin whatsoever. However, if it was in my house long enough and the right set of circumstances came along, maybe I talked to my dad that day on the phone, tried to get a job done, and then you lose, and then he just psychologically has the advantage. But if you do it after 17, now you're just beating up an old man. You know, you see his anchor tattoo, you're like, fuck, he was in the Navy. Jesus Christ, I'm beating up a veteran. Oh, man, I feel like a piece of shit here, you know? All right, here's another one for you. I didn't think I was homophobic, right? I didn't. No, because I didn't have a problem. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I have a problem, you know, them getting married or any of that shit. And I thought it was totally natural. I was just like, that's just like how you're born. And when people would be like, oh, no, it's a choice. They're choosing to be gay. I love when somebody said that. Okay, let's say it's a choice. Then that would mean being straight is a choice, right? So that would mean that you, at some point, hypothetically, had a dick and a pussy on the table and had a choice to make. See, on the table and had a choice to make, right? You were sitting there, all right, which way am I going to go? Well, let's see. This one hurts more, but I get to keep my house. And then this one over here feels amazing, but everything seems to disappear down into it. I mean, it's a coin flip. As far as I'm concerned, it's a coin flip. Straight edge, Geronimo, right? So I realized... Like, I want a woman. What the fuck are you asking me? I don't want some man. I didn't even picture a man. I just saw a male arm from here down to here with black hair with like grease on it just coming up my back going, okay, just breathe. And like, ah! It feels better. You fixed it. Get me the fuck out of here. Yeah, so like, I like just the image of that. I like fucking recoiled. And I was almost like defensive. I was like, no, I want a woman, right? And then, you know, the way I look, in my age, I look like some creep that was looking for a fucking happy ending. You know, you can't be in there like, no matter how I said it, it came off like, yeah, I want a woman. I want a thing. It's like a gay coming, you know? Yeah, thinking I'm looking for a happy ending, you know, which I wasn't. But, you know, I will say I do have issue with them calling it a full body massage. It's like, it's not a full body massage. It's everything but street. And that doesn't feel, it feels weird. And I know what you guys are thinking. You probably think, oh, Bill, why don't you just rub one out before you go to the masseuse? It's like, because I won't make the appointment, all right? I'm going to fall asleep upright in the chair, and then my neck's going to be fucked up and my back. Now I got two problems. It would be great if they legalized it, though. You know what I mean? It'd be fantastic. You just have like a regular masseuse in there. You know, you got to have the real masseuse at the beginning, right? Because hand job, like most women, terrible hand job. Most women, terrible fucking hand job. Not even trying to get better at it either, by the way. Like the skill set. Like, you ever get this one, the 3 fingertips? Do you ever just get this? It's like, what are we doing here? Are we waiting for the next lunar eclipse? Is there, what I never thought I'd say this. This is just fucking annoying. You're just like annoying. Why don't you just flick the head of my fucking dick while you're at it? What are you doing? All right? You're supposed to be simulating penetration. Over immediately, right? Oh, it'd be fantastic. I would run a massage parlor like that, like a baseball manager. I'd have the real masseuse go in, eat up about 8 innings, and then I take the lube. All right, you're done. You did a great job. Then you bring in the lefty. Let's get in here, right? And she comes in. Gives you a hand job better than 90% of the blow jobs you ever got in your life. Then you walk out of there, your body's loose, your balls are empty, you can hear your wife's voice again, and everything's good.
Guy's like 6'4", and he's ripped. And we went down the alley, and his character's mad at our character, and he just turned around and looked at us. And for half a second, I was like, oh, that's Wolverine. And I legit got scared. And he's a big guy, you know? So what's funny in this scene is as the reporter, I have like a notebook, and I dropped it. And after the screening, we went to the Toronto Film Festival, and all these actors are coming up. Funny in this scene is as the reporter, I have like a notebook, and I dropped it. And after the screening, we went to the Toronto Film Festival, and all these actors are coming up to me. I love the choice you made. I love the choice you made to drop the notebook. I go, no, dude, that was real. I was like, hard day at work, and that's all they need. So basically what happened was a lot of empty seats where I was up because StubHub was gouging people so bad, people just stayed home. So there was all these empty seats behind us.
Really?
So my buddy was taking his beer, empty beer cans, was sticking them there, and this guy, and he was in, rather than just being, hey, do you mind, my wife and kid got to get by, can you just blah, 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 he just immediately went to, hey, was there something wrong with the bottom of your chair? And then it escalated, and then I pulled the ladies line, which usually diffuses it. I was like, ladies, come on, what are we doing? We're at the game here, right? And I go to shake his hand, he doesn't shake my hand like an So now, all my Boston anger comes up, and I'm just talking loudly about West Coast fans, forgetting that I'm a bald 50-year-old mugging me the whole way up.
Oh, really?
He's with his wife and kid. He's sitting there, you know, looking like he just got out of Denny's, and he's looking at me like he's going to do something. So my eyes are starting to go, but I refuse to get glasses. So I'm sitting there like, as I'm walking up, I'm like, is this guy looking at me? So, you know, when you have old eyes, you got to look away and then look back to make sure, right? So I did that. Now he thinks I'm soft. Like, oh, I got him. He blinked, right? So something happened on the walk up to him. I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore. I was just like, dude, come on, man. I got to respect. So immature, like emotionally, that when he went to do the fist bump, he didn't even move his hand up. He just had it in his lap, and he just kind of went like this. You know like when a toddler goes to wave for the first time, they don't lift their arm up. They just imitate you like that. Like he did that, and I did the fist bump, and then we were fine. So I think I figured something out.
What?
Because there's an overlap with Irish guys and Mexican dudes as far as like a disconnect. Like you have like this anger, and like I think
Like, that's like meeting a 60-year-old Irish guy in therapy years. Like, they're even more hardcore. Dude, they'll literally stand there, face 10 people with flamethrowers and not even flinch. Be like, what? I'm not backing down. So you have to give them, you got to give them the out. So I gave him the out, and then I squashed it. And then even my buddy, the Angus Boston guy next to me, afterwards, he walked out. He was just like, dude, how did you do that? How did you do that? It's just like, well, you know, I've been married for 5 years, losing. I gave him the out, and then I squashed it. And then even my buddy, the Angus Boston guy next to me, afterwards, he walked out. He was just like, dude, how did you do that? How did you do that? It's just like, well, you know, I've been married for 5 years, losing fights all the time. So I've just learned.
Christina, congratulations on the baby. You just had the baby, right?
Yeah, little Friday morning. I did. My wife did. I didn't do anything. I felt unbelievably useless. I was in total pain to do that move. But just knowing you were going to do it, like the level of excitement that you would have before, like, okay, I'm going to go get some cigarettes. And I'm never going to see you people again, your mother-in-law. All of this stuff is over. I'm a loner, man. I don't like people. So...
Yeah, you're not lying.
I don't.
Yeah, I know.
This Fifth Avenue during Christmas time, the thoughts that go through my head. The thoughts that go through my head.